often find myself in a career in consulting getting this question asked a lot, and that is, what is it that you do again? I get asked by a multitude of people on a daily basis. Main people be your family. So you get all these holiday events, and you constantly get asked, well, what's consulting? I really don't understand what it is that you do. And you constantly find yourself explaining it to people. Well, here's a little bit of an easier explanation of what consulting actually is. Basically, smart business people in these companies have kind of big problems that they can't solve on their own, so they bring consulting firms in, and those kind of people can fix those problems for them. Now, oftentimes, these people are very smart. Okay, so maybe not Albert Einstein smart, but nonetheless, they're very smart people. You get people right out of college that have good degrees and have a unique skill set for problem solving that you don't always find. And those are generally the kinds of people that work in consulting. So you often find yourself doing the basic who, what, when, where, why, how of any kind of problem. So whatever their problem may be, early on you basically apply this kind of a concept to it. Now when you're working with your other professionals, generally they're people right out of college like yourself, and they're brilliant too, and you're working with them because you need to get this problem solved. So you're often with a team constantly going over different solutions and brainstorming on how to fix it until you reach the proverbial idea and you get what you need to do for this particular problem. So that's basically a very, very basic overview of what the process would be for going into consulting and what it is that you'll exactly be doing. So some perks are that you'll be making good money right out of college, and it's generally a pretty high salary. Okay, so maybe you're not going to be making as much money as Walter White, but nonetheless, you'll still be making somewhat decent money. Okay, not quite that low, but the general starting salaries can be anywhere from the $65,000 range to $80,000 range per year, which is generally very good compared to most careers coming out of college, and it's a great way to start when you're coming out from school. Another perk is you get to travel to exotic locations. You know, you'll be traveling around to different clients and visiting, and you'll need to go to their sites to actually perform the work that you need to do. Okay, so maybe you're not going to be going to the beach all the time like that, but you will get to visit exotic destinations like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, so Harrisburg may not be the most glamorous place, but these are an example of a location where you might be visiting a client someday. It may not always be glamorous, but nonetheless you do travel to it. But of course you get to travel in fancy airplanes and have an enjoyable flight experience, like this example where you're in a private jet. Okay, so maybe that's taking it a little bit too far. You're not always going to be in a private jet. And you often find yourself in crowded airplanes like this. But nonetheless, you still do get to travel, and you still do get that experience of flying for your career, which is a cool thing right out of college to do. But in all seriousness, consulting truly is a very good career to start right out of college when you're young and you can travel and you don't really have as many obligations. Plus you have great starting salaries and you get a great experience early on. Certainly there are going to be some things that make you angry, but that's really any career. Any career that you start in, you're going to have things that bother you, but you work past those things, and consulting's no different from anything else. There will be things that you run into. But really, at the end of the day, if you do choose to find a career in consulting, you'll be at a great place to start for your career, and you'll have numerous opportunities that can launch you into other great positions moving forward within your career after college. Thank you very much. This is my presentation.